Hello, welcome to another podcast of Master Investor. Glad to be here again on another valuable talk on money, business, and investment. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on all other social media platforms to stay tuned to our content that will help you ultimately build the asset column. Everything that we do here inside of our community is to help everyone become wealthier. So we explain the new rules of money, the business principles that work in all economies, and we're going to literally help you see the world of money with the entrepreneurs and investors' eyes. Approaching money the right way is how we become wealthy. The way we make money determines which type of player we are in the game of money. There are 4 players in the game of money. We talk about it all the time inside the cash flow circle. 4 players. Just imagine a circle, draw a line in the middle, horizontal, and another line vertical in the middle. So now we have 4 slices. On the left side, top left corner, top left slide, that's where we find the E, the employee. On the bottom left side, we find the S, the self-employed. On the right top side, we find the B, business owner. On the right bottom side, we find the I, or inside investor, or also known as a master investor. So the question is, which type of player are you today, and which type of player do you want to be ultimately? We can be all the players at the same time. I don't know how successful we could be at doing them all at the same time, but there are cases where we can see an individual practicing all 4 players at the same time. They're employed, they have a business, and they can do it all, because if you have a true business, that business is running on itself. So you can go get a job, perhaps, so that now becomes an employee. Maybe he starts his own business on the side where he's seeing clients. So now it's a small business and not really a big business. And now he's self-employed. So you get the point, right? You can actually be, and he can invest as well. And you can have success and you can do well, but the question is, which one do you ultimately want to be? At the end of the day, the wealth is built on the right side of the cash flow circle, because we have 24 hours. So if you're selling time for money on the left side of the cash flow circle, that's where you sell time for money. On the right side, you don't sell time for money. You're selling a product through a system of systems, right? Either a product or service, and a service is a product, right? Whether it's physical, non-tangible, right? It could be a digital product, something that the customer buys and it gets instantly downloaded into their PC or smart device. But the point is that on the right side of the cash flow circle, wealth is built through businesses and investment. It is the only way that we can truly build freedom. It's by having investments that we control on our asset column that are producing passive income and capital gains income. So the question is, which type of player do we want to be in the game of money? And I always encourage everyone to become an inside investor and a business owner. Be on the right side of the cash flow circle. I mean, if you love your job and you do that because it's your passion, and that's what you are born to do, and that's your talents, and you're doing them in an extraordinary manner when whichever organization you are involved with, then great. We all need great employees, right? In our companies and so forth. If we have companies that will hire employees, we need great people around us. So there are those people that are great employees and they don't mind doing what they do. We're talking about the people that want to escape that job that they don't like. And for those who do like the job that you have, and you're thinking, well, maybe in 20 years from now, maybe in 10 years from now, you would like to retire, then imagine you can start investing, learning about how to capitalize on your talents and how to create products and services, or how to acquire businesses and invest while you're still working. And therefore, when you're ready to retire, you at least have way more income coming in than if you would have never started investing or doing business, you see? So you will be able to thrive a better life after you retire from your job. because maybe the pension is not going to be that high, assuming that you haven't put enough into any of the fake vehicles that the government has created for uneducated people. Those vehicles are created because they are there to help the middle class invest. But since the middle class and the poor class, let's say, they don't have the financial education, they work for money, they sell their time for money. So what they do is that they put money into this 401k investment vehicle that promises them rewards after they retire. But remember the definition of an asset in our community. We keep it very simple, and it is an asset, put money into our pocket whenever we're not working. That's it. If it's not doing that, then it's not an asset, meaning that if we're investing money or we're putting money, we're not even investing, we're throwing the money away into this 401k and we're not getting any money back ever until like whenever we pull it out, then that's not an asset, that's a liability, because all it's doing is taking money away from your pocket. So you have to understand the definition between an asset, the difference between an asset and liability. The definition of an asset, I just told you, and the definition of the liability is the very opposite. It takes money away from our pocket. There's nothing wrong with having liabilities as long as we have an asset that will pay for that liability. There's nothing wrong with having bad debt, because some of the bad debt and liabilities that we have are things that we like to experience in life. So that's why I always say, live above our means, never below our means, and go with the energy goals. Listen, there are a lot of people that are going to have, they call it the evil eye, right? People might have jealousy feelings about who you are, how you thrive, how you're so easily adaptable, right? And you're going to get those haters along the way. There's a devil in every level, as they say. And what we have to do is empower ourselves and take it as feedback. Don't let that get us out of our character. Listen, and then take our own conclusions based on our own feelings and our own intuition. Never let other people decide for us. We decide what we feel inside of us. We take a walk, we meditate on it, we write it down, right? And if you want to talk to somebody that's close to you, that you know that has the best interest for you, then maybe get some opinions there, right? Somebody that you truly trust, they had no interest in whether either side, right? Somebody that maybe is really a neutral individual, somebody that has the best interest for you, okay? That will tell you what you need to hear and know what you want to hear, and you take it as feedback as well, right? Because we always have to do that. Otherwise, you lose the power of making decisions on your own. And when it comes to investing, I want you to understand that here in our community at Master Investor, we're all about taking our own decisions. We're not going to give our money away to anybody. We will never encourage anyone inside of our community to give your money to somebody, okay, or to invest in a certain stock, or to go. We will never recommend you to do any of that, because that's up to you. That's up to the investor behind the investment to figure out whether that investment is a sound asset or it's a liability, because we can read financial statements, we can see through the BS, we can see through any brochures, any salesman or any broker trying to sell something that is a liability or toxic just so they can earn a commission. Remember, we are the investors. We must read the financial statements and make the final decision, and we take responsibility for our actions. It's the best thing to do when life hits you. Take responsibility, and that way you are in control, right? When we take responsibility, we don't give control to anybody. All right? Go with the energy. Energy never lies, I'm telling you. When you really listen to your gut feeling and you learn how to follow that guidance system that we all have, it is going to literally help you in every possible way that you can imagine and that you cannot imagine. Believe it or not, because the intuition is so wise. It's so mother-like, right? If you ever had if you're fortunate enough to have a mother that has given you love in your life, okay? Not everybody has that blessing, okay? And I feel for those who never experienced that. But if you had a mother that gave you love and that's always there for you and listening to you, and it's that same feeling, and the gut feeling. Our guidance system is always to protect us, always to love us, always to protect our best interests. Somehow our heart and our intuition knows what we want out of life, so we must follow it. Because when we don't follow it, that's when we fall into the trap of the enemy. We need to follow our intuition, stay tuned with it, listen to it. And sometimes, and many times, and I will say majority of times, I will say all the time, it doesn't make sense, because the intuition is literally, think of it like it's attached on a harness to our ideal scene of life. Like, and what I mean by our ideal scene, our purpose, fulfilling our purpose in life. That's what I mean. And not only that, I'm talking about the ideal scene overall, meaning fulfilling your purpose in life, thriving through our talents, through our purpose, every single day, right? Having the things that we want to have around us, having the material things that we want in our lives, in our ideal scene, perfectly as we see it, right? If money was too much money in our lives, or was the type of money that will acquire what you want to have in your life, then what would that be? That guidance system is connected to that ideal scene. Whatever dreams you had, whatever purpose you had on this earth, that intuition is attached to that. So literally, our eyes can only see what we can see ahead of us, right? But the intuition can see farther than our eyes, so that's why it doesn't make sense. When we're attempted to read it, we get those alarms, and it talks to us in the way we feel. So you have to understand, when you don't feel good, your intuition is telling you something. And when you feel good, then your intuition is obviously telling you, okay, you're aligned. So it talks to us with feeling good and feeling bad. It's that simple. So if you feel bad, change your thoughts. Pound on better positive thoughts. Start becoming more active. Change your environment. Go to where you need to be in order to become wealthy. Start growing. Start expanding. Become a better leader. Every action counts. So listen, if you're here listening to this, you have the power in your hands right now to change your life at any given second. And I want you to always keep those keys with you, because as long as we are living and we are standing and we can think, right, then we have the keys to change our lives at any given moment and manifest a truly desired ideal scene. Listen to our intuition. Even in business, it's important. You have to develop that, because in business, you'll find that intuition is our best friend. You have to develop the intuition as a leader. Not only that's how we lead people, because we can feel other people's feelings. We can feel the feelings in a room. And I said that before, like when we become more aware and we are clean and we're expanding on our vocabulary and we are growing and we're doing self-development and we're constantly doing that, right? And we've been doing it for a minute already and we have a track record of proving that. Then let me tell you something. Once that awareness rises, you're going to feel other people's thoughts without them saying a word to us. You're going to walk in any room, and anybody that sees you and that thinks a thought, you will capture that and you will know exactly what they thought. You'll be able to feel the energy, but also read their thoughts when the awareness is high and clean. That's why it's important to keep our hands clean, to have integrity, ethics, and make sure to confront life, right? Go with the energy. That's what I can tell you. My recommendation is that listen to your intuition in business and everything that you do in life. And many people don't have that I want to say that it's not that easy for people to listen to the intuition. They don't have it that easy. A lot of people don't, because they need to do work on themselves, right? And it takes some time to start working, to expand our vocabulary, to grow, and to say, okay, this is what we're here to do. This is what we want out of life. Because one thing, we can't come out of this life alive. So are you going to come on the field and play, or are you going to sit on the bench and be afraid the rest of your life because you don't want to take the chances, or you don't want to pursue what your intuition is telling you to pursue? Remember, fear is nothing but happiness on the other side. Fear is an alarm that we need to go after whatever we fear about. Why? Because when we go through that, we will find treasures on the other side. Fear comes in when there's an unknown, when we have something that we don't know and we want to know about. That's fear. But there's nothing to fear unless you really just get to it and you confront that fear, right? You just get to it, confront it. You'll find happiness. You'll grow. Good fear. I'm talking about good fear. Of course, there are times when you fear about something, and of course, don't jump off the bridge if you fear to jump off the bridge. I'm not talking about that type of fear. What I'm saying is, like, unless you're doing a bungee jump or whatever, your harness in. I don't know if I still recommend that, but just what I'm saying is good fear. Sometimes we are fear maybe of talking in front of public, right? And then you figure out that it was nothing but something that we had to do. It was one of our callings. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe if you're an artist and you're afraid of being on stage dancing, but you're a really good artist and you know how to dance, and that was just the moment that you needed to have because you wanted to experience that. And it was so amazing, so aligned to your goals that, and your ideal scene, that the fear kicked in because you didn't know what it would feel like. You knew there was something there. Your intuition was telling you fear, 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 alarm, attack, attack. And once you got on that stage, then the rest was history. And that's what I'm talking about, those type of fears. Sometimes we have to pay attention all the time to those alarms that we get from our intuition. They're never wrong. You gotta listen to it. When you feel your gut feeling, like something inside of you, you gotta listen to that and stick with it, regardless of what you're seeing with your eyes. Remember that your intuition has the best interest when it comes to everything in life. In business, you have to develop that intuition. So what type of player do we want to be when it comes to money, right? Because we're all playing with money. Some people spend their entire life working, the entire day working. They check in, they check out of their job. They feel good about working at a place for the rest of their life. I've seen people spend their entire life working at the same company forever. And they often say, well, you know what? You're going to be retired with this pension. And when they come to find out, they have no pension left. And they have wasted their entire years. Maybe if they loved their job, they didn't waste their years. But hey, listen, I don't know if we were born to work for money. You see what I'm saying? For that type of money, selling our time. I don't think the Creator created us to work here, to work, to sell your time. The most precious and the most valuable asset we all have, our time, right? We don't want to really want to waste our time or give our time or misuse our time to anybody that doesn't deserve it, to any environment that doesn't deserve it. We don't want to do any of that. We want to focus in our dreams. We want to be called. Sometimes we're going to have to walk alone. Sometimes you're going to have to pick up from where you are and take the next step forward. Nobody's going to take it for us. Listen, sometimes in life, you might feel like you want people to come and save you, but nobody's going to save you. Trust me, okay? You have to get up and you have to take the next step forward. Nobody's going to take that step for you. We have to do it ourselves. So I want to encourage you, I want to inspire you today to take that next step towards your finances, towards learning about money, how to invest, how to create wealth. Even one little sentence can change your whole life. You know that? 15 minutes talking to somebody can change your entire life. It is that powerful. That's why I don't take for granted any of the tools that we have or any of our content that we create here, because we understand that if we can reach just one person that changes their life, we are completing our mission, right? Because we are empowering people. We are showing them how to become wealthier. We are helping them pursue their dreams and not only pursue their dreams, but attract their dreams, because success is something that we attract by the people that we become, right? So money magnifies who we are at the end. If you're a bad person and you have money, then you're going to be bad. It's not going to change who we are. It's going to magnify more of who we are, you know? So if you have the ability to sit down and write down or put it on your iPhone or whatever phone you have, or if you like to do things digitally, I love my digital stuff, so I do both. I do writing and both, but I like digital. Write down your ideal scene. What things would you like to have? What would you like to be? With what? With who? Like specifically to the T. We must be the authors of our lives. And when it comes to business and when it comes to building our wealth, put the pieces where you want them to be. That's how you win. That's how you're able to actually pursue what you're here to do. And it's all about attracting it. So it's all about attracting it, but you have to really engage in the activities that will help us become better. You understand? So we have to really focus on the daily activities that we do. Otherwise, time will go. What are you doing right now? What is the next plan for the next 24 hours? What are we getting into, right? We need to be talking about money. We need to talk about building our asset column. How are you going to create your first digital asset? Have you ever made any money online while you're sleeping? Do you know it's easier than ever to do it today? Before, we didn't have the stuff that we have today, so it's a big change. You know, it's a big change. And it starts with our mindset. I want all of our community here at Master Investor to take massive action and to take control over your finances. Listen, it's better for you to start small than you to give your money away just because you don't know what you're doing. It's better for you to start small, invest in a financial education product like one of our digital courses or something. Go look at other courses and other communities. There are great people everywhere, great communities. We are the authentic brand of money, business, and investing. Our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. So what you have to do is really focus on that asset column and which one's going to be your next asset that you're going to acquire. If you have saved that money because you work at a job, then your job is to turn that capital into passive income and capital gains income through sound investing that you control, that you do. So if you're going to invest in whichever asset class, there are 5 asset classes that we have. Number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Number 3, crypto. Number 4, paper assets. Number 5, commodities. They all require financial education. However, whenever you decide the asset class that you want to start with, then you get a seminar, you get a product or a class, a webinar, something. You're going to YouTube, you get educated on that. There's a lot of free information, although organized information can become very valuable, because once you start searching for all the information, you're gonna spend way more time than, getting the information by somebody that's a mentor, somebody that's already done what you want to do, somebody that has insights on entrepreneurship and investing. So I'm a big believer. Even though we create financial education, we continuously in our community invest in other people's financial education. I personally have spent, I don't even know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in financial education along my lifetime. I mean, if you look at what you have, done since you were, even since you were a kid, like, you gotta count everything in, and your time has no price. So it's whatever price you put on your time that makes you smaller, right? So don't put a price on your time. Your time is the most precious asset we all have. So if you're giving your time, that's already money. Like, you're giving your time. That's something that nobody can replace. So when you give your time to anybody, to a company, make sure it's aligned with your purpose. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, which is the most valuable asset, like I said, and it's not going to help you. So make sure that you take massive action in whatever you do. Become omnipresent when it comes to syndicating our content. We talked about that yesterday. Brandon, and just actively be producing content. When you don't feel like doing something, that's when we gotta do it. Listen, the formulas of building wealth are dual, mechanical, and boring. Now it's a lot fun. It's a lot more fun now than before because of the technology that we have. We didn't have Instagram, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have this podcast, none of that. So now it's a lot more fun to create wealth. You can start your podcast today. That's a way to create passive income. You need to get started. We don't have to be great to get started, but we need to get started to become great. So my encouragement to you is that you have all the ability to take your life to the next level by applying the new rules of money, taking massive action, and learning how to put deals together so that we attract money, because the job number one of an entrepreneur is to raise capital, and the number one skill is to sell without selling using systems, and the job number one of a master investor and inside investor is to make money work hard through sound investing. So when we have a product, we can raise capital from the front end and from the back end. If the business is structured correctly, then we can raise money from the banks, from other private institutions, including peer-to-peer lending, or even credit cards, personal, business, doesn't matter. Whatever type of borrowed money we can obtain to invest, that's good, as long as we have the right structure. And I'm assuming that people would not invest, or institution would not invest if you have a bad deal. You have to show them that you have a good deal. And the way to do that is by showing them the cash flow analysis, the OPM, the PPM, the private placement memorandum. It's basically a business plan where it discloses the liabilities of the business, etc. And that's what you show to investors and other institutions to raise capital. We're working on our fourth ebook right now called How to Raise Capital to Build Wealth. It's going to be released sometime in the next month, so stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more ebooks released this year. Hopefully we get to 10 by the end of the year. And we're going to be producing more and more content and tools, resources, and everything we can to build our asset column here at Master Investor. Together, building wealth is the best thing. Sharing what's working, taking responsibility. All of us, we take responsibility for what the results that we get. We don't blame anybody else, because we understand that we are the investors. We take full responsibility. We call the shots. We incorporate, we do our companies. If we're doing affiliate marketing, we're still going to incorporate a company so that we can run all that income through the business. As you know, a master investor looks for on paper as an individual, because we don't earn money through a paycheck. So our tax returns on a personal level are zero. How much your money make per year? Zero. As an individual, But as a business owner, my companies are successful, and they have systems in place, right? Because every company is successful is a system of systems, working hard, doing the selling and telling for the business owner, serving the product to the problem, to the customer. So every business is built to what? Solve a problem. Once we do that successfully, then we can actually begin to receive that passive income even while we're sleeping. I think once you feel, if you never made money online, once you feel how it is to wake up and have, I don't know, some money in the bank while you were sleeping, and you're like, oh my God, like I can actually do that over and over again. And yes, your eyes and your mind and the world of opportunity is going to even open farther for you, and you're going to get inspired, because it's the best feeling knowing that you don't have to work for money. I mean, who said that we had it born to work for money? We have to make money our slave. Money's gonna work hard for us. Since when we're giving more value to money than a human being? That's crazy. Money's a paper. It's a paper that, yes, is used as a tool, but we gotta master that tool. We can't let the tool master us. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed today's talk. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm here on my early walk, and I just wanted to jump on this podcast and just talk to you from the heart, just like I always do. Bring you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Just to recap, remember, follow the intuition and start working on that asset column, start building that passive income through sound investing. Click the link in the description so that you join our inner circle, get our ebook, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. It's a must read. I highly recommend it. It's a great deal. Once you get it today, on our website, you'll have additional assets, and any asset that we add into that digital course moving forward, you will always have access and be grandfathered in at no additional cost. So welcome to our community, and thank you for supporting Master Investor. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.